Peace. TMZ has this story now about Michael Irvin, supposedly being involved in some type of rape case or some accusation of rape or sexual assault by a so-called female acquaintance of his. Right now, the story is not that big yet, but it's very interesting. Some of the aspects of the case, some of the details of the case and of her story and his story. So TMZ is reporting it. So let's see how they report this issue.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. Evan here with Van and Michael J. Babcock. What up? We are about to be joined by Michael Irvin, who is going to break his silence on allegations he sexually assaulted a woman in a hotel in Florida on March 21st.
Now, this is a good example of this is a good example of the simplicity of the so-called black man. And I've gotten into a couple of conversations with a lot of simple so-called black men in the comments. And when I say simple, the reason why I call them that is because they're always going out of their way to bring up the so-called black woman in a glorifying manner when this issue is not even about her. But we're going to cover this. We're going to cover this later on in this clip in regards to some of the commentary. So that I'll just put into context exactly what I'm referring to. But once again, the so-called black man is constantly making bad decisions. And Michael Irvin is an example of a so-called black man that just because he's older, in his late 40s or early 50s, it doesn't mean that he's any wiser. Right? He's a very unwise person.
A little bit of background first. There is a police investigation into the NFL Hall of Famer after a 27-year-old woman claimed that they were hanging out at a bar in the early hours of March 21st. They went back to the W Hotel where Michael was staying, and then she says she started to feel sick, and the last thing she remembers is fighting him off. The next morning, she says she called 911 and told cops she fears she was drugged and raped. Now, Michael has adamantly denied that, but now we are joined by the NFL Hall of Famer to hear his side of the story. Michael, thanks for joining us.
First of all, guys, listen, and when you guys called with that story, that was the first we had heard of it. We knew nothing about it. It caught us totally by surprise when that came down. So I was shocked. I was shocked when, and I didn't know. Because I know you guys called to say, what comments do you have on that? So we can't have any comments. We don't even know what you are talking about. And what was funny about it is, this was 24 hours after I had just talked to the girl that was accusing me of this. I had just talked to her. I had communications with her. So, and I had at least 10 communications with her, texts or conversations after the so-called incident, and she had never mentioned anything about an investigation. So it totally caught me off guard.
Well, I have a suspicion that a lot of things catch you off guard, bro. I have a suspicion that a lot of things catch you off guard. Stupidity combined with alcohol and drug abuse, that's normally a very bad combination. All right? Especially with a guy who's a borderline, no disrespect, a borderline idiot. But we'll cover that a little later.
And I just want to say how it's very difficult to walk around and hear things like someone was drugged, passed out, and taken advantage of in your hotel room when that's just simply not the truth.
Well, in light of the Bill Cosby and Darren Sharper cases, any accusation about a female claiming that she was drugged by a semi-famous or relatively famous black male athlete does have a certain level of credibility. That's just the fact of the matter, right? It's just a fact of the matter that a lot of these famous or semi-famous black male celebrities are Boule members, and a lot of them do get off on drugging women. All right, so the facts of the case will have to play out. Hopefully for your case, hopefully from your perspective, the facts play out on your side.
I had known for almost a decade. I considered her like my little niece.
Okay, so you've known the girl for almost a decade. You consider her like your little niece. your little niece, but you had her out drinking till 3 something, 4 something in the morning, and you bring her back to your suite. All right, man. That makes a lot of sense.
You know, a friend, she's hung out with me and my family members and on a number of occasions. And all I was trying to do that evening, because we were hanging out, a lot of my friends and families, it was my first time home after the off season. I wanted to make sure everybody got home safely, and if anybody wanted to just stay in my suite, they could have the suite because I had to leave early that morning.
Yeah, brother, that makes a lot of sense, man. You were worried about everybody getting home safe, so instead of you just calling a car service to get her home safe, you decided to offer her your hotel room. Now, on what planet does that not create some form of an incriminating atmosphere for yourself, man? Right? Either you're a fool or you're a possible sexual predator. Or you're just a simp or simpleton because maybe this woman is in financial straits and she wants to rake you over the coals. That's how things go down. Either way, Michael Irvin, he's certainly not going to, no, Mensa is not calling his house. I guarantee you that. They're not offering him any memberships.
And so when we all went back to the room that night in question, we all went back to the room, and I got everybody cars to go home. And then I was left. Soon after that, I left the room. And when I left the room, followed me out of the room. She followed me down the hall, and I went back to the W. They don't have cameras in the hallway. But she also followed me in the elevator and then out of the elevator in the lobby. And they do have those cameras in the lobby. We've been talking to the W Hotel. They preserved those, they preserved the tapes, you know. And
yeah, and you know what, bro? I hope that the capes help you make your case. But, I mean, your story's not making any damn sense. You got a car service for everybody except for her. You took her up to your room. You leave the room. And supposedly she's incapacitated, but she follows you downstairs. I mean, does that really make any sense, brother? I mean, just from a cognitive thinking man's perspective, why would you want to be alone? You're a famous semi-celebrity. Why would you want to be alone with a woman that's not your woman, or hell, even not an escort? You don't know who these females are, man. But that's the problem with a lot of you so-called black men. Yeah, a lot of y'all actually trust a lot of these broads and these strange broads, man. Don't you know you have to put not just a woman, but anybody, you have to put them through a certain period, a certain probationary period. You know, they have to, proverbially speaking, run the gauntlet before you put any type of trust in them, especially a woman, especially you're famous and you're going to be alone with a woman. I don't give a damn how long you claim you knew this woman. All right. The story's just not making much sense, man.
And we have to go through the legal process to get it from the W. But I know those tapes are there. There was never anyone left, drugged, passed out, and taken advantage of in the room. Even when I left that night, I texted and said, hey, the room is 2004. Just in case you don't remember, go back to the room and sleep it off.
So you mean to tell me that she was so drunk and incapacitated, you felt the need to text her the room number because she was that out of it? So you thought it was a better idea on your planet to let her sleep in your suite when she's that drunk, as opposed to just give her a car service and send her home? Okay, bro.
And she texted me good night. So, you know, it's then when that would, you know, and I, like I said, I talked to her at least 10 times after the night that this was supposedly had happened.
None of that matters, man. None of that matters when these chicks are going for a money grab. They could text you, how's the weather doing? How are you doing? How's the family doing? And meanwhile, they got another text thread with the FBI, the police department, the ATF, CIA, FBI, Interpol.
So I was just totally blindsided with it, and
fools are normally blindsided with stuff, man. Fools are normally blindsided with stuff because they don't walk circumspectly, and they put trust in everybody. especially strange women. But hey, remember he said that he's known the chick for 10 years, right? Yeah, okay.
You know, and just and throw.
You don't know somebody until they broke.
And thrown into a deep depression about it, you know. But we're doing the investigation, and I know the investigation to show what it really is, and I shall be fine.
You might just be fine, but you know this is more a lesson in bad decision making than anything else. You know, I say this all the time. I don't understand it, man. Dudes out 3, 4 in the morning, up 3, 4 in the morning, and you just out drinking. Or out I don't understand that, man. If you up at that time, 1, 2 in the morning, I will hope that you are either getting some ass or in the process of getting some ass. Like, I mean, that's why the story is strange to me. You out there with a chick that you claim is your niece. First off, if you love the woman that much, you wouldn't have her out there in the middle of the street at 4 o'clock in the morning. Certainly not drinking. Right? You would have gave her a car service and she would have been home already. If that's a family member or a woman that is akin to your family, like you claim that she is, you should have been sent her home. All right. So it's just some is fishy here. Some is rotten in Denmark.
So, Mike, you say that you're getting this video evidence, and that's going to be presented as evidence. Why do you think, the way you're laying out the facts, why do you think that she's alleging sexual assault, and where do you think these allegations are coming from?
Either because he actually is sexually assaulted her, or because she's broke. It's not that difficult to figure out, bro. He actually did it, or she's broke and desperate. Who knows? And knows that he's an easy mark because, number one, he's a fool. Number two, he's a rich fool. And number three, he has a track record of foolery and stupidity. So who knows? Or maybe she's just crazy and delusional. You have a lot of females out there like that. But like I said, I got into a little conversation with some idiot on one of the comments on one of the Ezekiel Elliott videos that I did where the guy said, "Oh, well, I noticed that you didn't mention that Ezekiel Elliott's just with white women because, he's cooning because he's just dealing with white women." Look, this is where, I do my best to try to help you brothers out with this. I don't know how many times I got to tell y'all cats this. The so-called black man is the one that's behind enemy lines. All right? They have y'all thinking that it's you and the so-called black woman behind enemy lines. And I'm not trying to come down on the so-called black woman, on the sisters or whatever you want to call them. But they're not behind enemy lines. All right? They're only behind enemy lines when they willfully choose to come against this system. But if they go along, if they go along to get along, the so-called white man will provide certain reservations for them. He will provide, certain conventions for them so that they can survive and that they can do well. All right. It's you, so-called black man, who is behind enemy lines. So when you keep trying to run with all this black queen stuff and, we could trust this person and that person, good luck with that, bruh. Right. The dude said in the comment, "Oh, well, some white woman is going to cry rape on him." Well, like I said, well, what race were the chicks that cried rape on Tupac and Mike Tyson and got them locked up? Right. And the disingenuous nigga responded back, "Oh, well, I don't know." See, that's when I had to cut off the conversation because it's all right. Like I said before, it's all right to disagree. But when you're so caught up in a false narrative and in a delusion that you're going to lie, now I have no more respect for you as a man. That's the reason why the so-called black man is in this situation that he's in constantly, because he likes to lie to himself. When you accept that you're behind enemy lines, when you accept that you're in prison, then you understand that you're eating prison food. Right? If you're in prison, you're not going to ask the chef of the prison, "How come we're not eating good food?" Right? You understand that you're getting prison food. So the goal is to get out of prison. The goal is not to improve the conditions of the prison. The goal is to get out of prison. A lot of these so-called black people that claim to be or try to act like they're so pro-black, they really love prison that they're in. They're trying to make prison better as opposed to trying to get out of it. All right? You got to face the realities of the situation. So to bring it back all the way around to the topic of this video, this fool was not supposed to have put himself in the position where he was alone with a female that he did not know anywhere near as well as he think he knew. Either that or he thought he was going to finally get the opportunity to seal the deal on a young piece of ass that he had wanted for years. All right. But something fishy is going on here.
From?
I don't know. You know, as she said, she doesn't remember things, and I don't know.
Well, maybe you're alleging that she told you that she don't remember things, but she obviously is telling the police something different.
Herself said that, so I'm not sitting here throwing anything or saying anything about her. That's what she has said, and I don't know. You know, I really do not know. I was trying.
Check her finances. Check her finances. The answer's always in the money. Always go to the money first.
Trying to look out for a friend. You know,
a friend my ass. You was trying to look out for her, you would have put her in a car and sent her home at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Why would you want a woman out in the middle of the street at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning? And that's not a woman that you're not trying to knock down. Give me a break, man.
As I said, people now, and I want to get this perfectly clear. Perfectly clear. I've known her for almost a decade. I've never had any kind of dating relationship with her. We've never had any kind of sexual relationship in any way.
Yeah, that's what you probably was trying to move on towards that night. You was trying to make it sexual.
In any form, she was like a little niece. She was a good friend.
Look, let me tell you something. I have a niece. I'm not going out drinking with my niece when she gets of age. We're not going out drinking till 4 o'clock in the morning. Sorry. All right. Matter of fact, if I see my niece drinking a drink, I'm looking at her like, let me make sure that she doesn't have an issue or a problem. All right. That's what a real male family member does for a female family member that he cares about and that he has to watch over. All right. You're not out till 4:30 in the morning watching a chick get so fallen down drunk that you have to text her what the room number is that you're staying in. Give me a break, man.
I was hurt to hear about it. And I thought, okay, maybe it's, she just don't remember and it's the alcohol. But then I hear she hires this Gloria Ulrich, who's...
Oh, well, you in for it now. Because this is the chick that all the... this is the chick that all the angry black women go to. I remember Floyd Mayweather's ex, I think Miss Jackson. This is the chick that she hired to say that Floyd hit her and all this other stuff. This right here, this is the feminazi lawyer right here. So Michael Irvin, you better put back on your helmet and your shoulder pads because you about to take some heavy punishment.
Who's a pretty good civil attorney, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should just wake up and take it for what it is. But I don't know why it is, why we are where we are.
You see, he finally said, maybe I should just wake up and take it for what it is. See, that's what's going to happen to a lot of you simp dudes out here, especially in these last days. All right. Y'all are going to be forced to face the truth about a lot of these dynamics that are going on around you. You keep trying to glorify things that are not worthy to be glorified. All right. And a lot of y'all cats have to learn the hard way. Hard-headed niggas always have to learn the hard way. And Michael Irvin, he should be the mascot for hard-headed niggas.
So you're saying you had never had a sexual relationship with this woman in the past, and you did not have any sort of sexual relationship with that woman on the particular night in question?
No, never. We've never had anything. We've never done anything. And I've known her for like I said, almost a decade. So none of that.
Well, Michael, I appreciate you coming on and telling your side of the story. I will say this, though, just as from a reporting standpoint, that the support from Cowboys Nations for you has been, I've noticed that there's been a lot of support.
Who cares? How is that relevant? The average fan is an idiot. Who cares what Cowboys Nation thinks about this story? None of that is relevant.
From Cowboys fans for you, and that must make you feel good.
Well, okay. I appreciate all the support that you get, and especially in times like this. Things like this, it really, affects you. And I understand I'm an easy target because of what my former conversation with me, my old lifestyle, of my bad decisions and my mistakes in the past and everything.
That's a good sign, bro. That's a good sign, brother. Self-awareness is the true beginning to recovery. right? You have to accept that you are an idiot, all right? And I don't say that to be insulting. You know, Aristotle said that you are what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly do idiotic shit, that makes you an idiot, right? Hopefully, you know, he can learn a little something. But I mean, I think that the brother is probably about 51, 52 years old. So if he's still doing dumb stuff at that age, I don't know if there's much hope for him. But, you know, it is what it is.
And everything, you know, but the evidence, it's the evidence to show what it is. You know, there was no one drugged, passed out, and taken advantage of and left it in the room like that. Once you see the tape, that she walked out of that hotel with me,
And also just the fact that she was so drunk that she may honestly think that she was drugged shows you how irresponsible he was in having her out at that time of the night. Like, I just don't get that. Why would you, you know, and that goes into that male-female friend nonsense too, which we might cover on another video. Like, a woman is not your friend, man. A woman is either your sister or she's the woman that you with, you know, or your mom or something like that. You know, she's either a family member or she's somebody that you're intimate with. All this male-female friend nonsense. This is why this dude is in as much trouble as he's in right now.
And I text her back and said, the room is 2004. Go back to the room and sleep it off. That's all, you know.
Yeah, she slept it off all right. She slept off her, you know, her plan to set your ass up.
I just want to get all the evidence we can and share with the Fort Lauderdale police. I know they are investigating, and we share and make the right decision here.
Michael Irvin, thank you very much for your time, man. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Hey, God bless, guys.
Yeah, so anyway, Michael Irvin, hopefully he can be hopefully he can be a symbol for, you know, a lot of brothers out there who make a lot of bad decisions, particularly involving situations that they put themselves in around women, and understanding, particularly if you're a so-called black man, this is not about what race the woman is as in regards to whether or not she's going to set you up. All right. Like, you see a lot of this propaganda that goes around. Oh, well, you know, Tiger Woods, look at what happened to him. The white woman took all his money. Well, look at what Michael Jordan's ex-wife did and took $400 million. And she's a so-called black woman. All right. You have to understand that you are behind enemy lines as a so-called black man. Everybody has to earn your trust. All right. Not just depending on race. Everybody. All right. Number one, you have to earn your own trust by making good decisions. All right. Peace.